All right, we are actually live this time, and hopefully for realsies. Um, my computer decided to freeze because there's a weird power state bug that I have not taken the effort to fix yet. Anyway, so let's go over stuff we're gonna do tonight. Um, First things first, we are going to hopefully, assuming Windows downloads and installs in a fair amount of time, uh, we are going to try to gather the OS info for Windows. So on Linux, there's a nice little file called etc OS release. So let's get the Boomer profile going. Cat etc OS release. So there's this wonderful file that's pretty standard on most Linux distributions. Like Debian, everybody puts different things in here, but usually you can grab like a name, a version, and an ID out. So you can put that info into Telegraph really easily just by running the cat command and saying it's a value or it's a key value pair. No problem. Windows, however, has a really complicated, I shouldn't say really complicated. You have to use like .NET and pipe it to the JSON output or like a different output to get it. So that's been a little troublesome, and I don't have a Windows machine I have around that I can just do terrible things to like I do with Linux boxes. So you have to wait for one of those to download. But while we do that, let's go over how busy the Influx data team has been this week. Um, so they just released the. Oh, still used to the old port number. They just released the release candidate for Influxdb 2. So we're getting really close to me not signing in, I guess. Did I misspell my own company name? The hell? Alright, fine. We'll go to the public IP. There we go. Anyway, so let's go over some of the cool new stuff inside of the public or the release candidate. First things first, holy breaking changes, Batman. Influx Data decided to lean heavily into supporting the upgrade path from 1 to 2. Uh, there was an alleged data migration path to it since it was just my personal stuff and this isn't a selling product yet. More on that later. We will. I just decided to nuke the data. It's 2 weeks of metrics. But importing the dashboards was pretty easy. PagerDuty broke, and I still need to fix that off stream. But it wasn't too painful of an upgrade. I just had to re-push the new. Basically all your authentication stuff broke when you imported the template, so I had to re-push the agents out with a different key. Would be really terrible, but thankfully there's a company out there that helps you with problems like this by writing scripts and giving you tools to push these scripts out, or writing an Ansible playbook in their spare time to do this for you. So yeah. Anyway, so we're back up wheeling and dealing with our pretty Linux buckets and our hosts. Another change I have made but haven't pushed to get is I made these dashboards instead of pretty little gauges. I made them single stat with graph, so that way you can actually see trends. Instead of it just being the pretty cool looking gauge, you actually get a trend, so you actually get an idea what's going on. Aesthetically, it's slightly less pleasing, but it's much more functional. Um, And let's go to a host that has shift-rmm installed on it. And you should be able to see. Forgot I took it off Zoe. Because it's like, yeah, whatever. And I'm never on it. And this still works perfectly fine. The next cool feature you are going to see, they put the sources in the GUI for what you can actually monitor with Telegraph. And to me, that's a really amazing feature. So instead of having to, like, before you had to know that, oh, inside the Telegraph repo or inside this website where the URL changes every version change of what you can monitor, they put it inside of InfluxDB. So let's say one of the things I want to work on is Windows event logging. I can go in here and it's this very cohesive experience where it gives you the examples and gives you everything that's on GitHub for it. So that way you're not going through multiple UIs to do things. So that's a huge, huge improvement. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed with the RC. The other thing is the reason why I had to delete all my metrics or go through a migration path was they made the storage engine more compatible with version 1. So that way people who are on version 1 and already using InfluxDB for a while can upgrade to version 2. Other stuff, it was a very admin heavy week, so you're not going to see a ton in Git. What got pushed was worked on pricing. So pricing's kind of tricky, and I'll actually show what I have on stream here because I'm pretty sure we're getting close. So one of my gripes, if you watch me talk about IT for any amount of time, is call us for pricing. I really dislike the fact that a lot of companies want you to sit through a sales call and then they'll tell you how much it costs. And to me, that's a pain in the butt and seems very bloated and terrible because you have to waste I shouldn't say waste. You have to spend a half hour of time just to communicate how, like, the value your product provides and then tell them how much you think that value is in terms of what you're going to charge for it. Can you please just show me on your website? Like, I want to give you money. And it's just always boggled my mind, like, how hard people think it, or people seem to make it really hard to give them money, yet say they want it, but they do things to go out of their way to make it hard. It's weird. So let me navigate through my files a bit. Important stuff, shift systems, pricing. And it opens in K-Edit. Awesome. Document, or file, open local file. Gosh, it's all my stuff that doesn't have dark mode. This is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Xcloud. And then we're going to go there. We're going to go there. There we go. So, originally the pricing plan was going to be throw me money and I manage your instance. I might examine that for use cases where it's internal only. But what I'm focusing on now is cloud hosting for people. So if you just want Shift RMM, which is the combination of our pre-canned monitoring dashboards and us managing your InfluxDB instance for you and doing keeping it up to date, adding in users, stuff like that, it's going to be $125 per month for up to 300 endpoints. And then for each additional, for up to another 100 endpoints, you just pay me another $10 a month. Pretty simple. And this is available as either me managing it on your infrastructure using our version of Shift RMM, or we'll host it up in a cloud for you. And then a managed remote access server, $50 a month for your 300 endpoints. That means we're going to dump all of our scripts in your Shift RMM instance, whether that is, again, on your cloud or on-prem. And you will do a managed monitoring instance for $100 for up to 300 endpoints. And again, $10 for each 100 additional endpoints. And an endpoint is anything where we have an agent. So it's either a Telegraph instance or a Mesh Central instance or both. So if you have Telegraph and Mesh on one thing, that's not 2 licenses, it's 1. Pretty simple pricing. And again, We are also planning on doing custom script development. So that way, if you think we need to have a script or a PC setup script or something like that, we can do that for you. And we will also add platform support for $3.50 an hour. Forgot to add the hippie discount. So if you let your customizations in, there we go, discount for open source. So, need to word that better. But basically what this means is that we'll give you a 20% off discount for any custom development if you let it back into the project. That's to give you an incentive to do the right thing and let other people improve our product, and let people who can spend a little bit more time on a dedicated use case like web hosting or something like that improve the dashboards and let you benefit from it as well. So we're trying to nudge you in the right direction with money, essentially, is kind of the purpose of the hippie discount. That aside, let's go through the issues and go through close. All right. So, added 1 week to closed. Yeah, like I said, it was a very admin heavy week. Basically, I spent most of it coming up with pricing and doing the data migration. So, as you can see, this lovely KDE notification, we still have 15 minutes till we have a Windows ISO downloaded. So, let's get right to it and develop ourselves a dashboard. So I believe, yep, so we have an HTTP response, and I think there should be, yep, X509 cert. So let's go to our boards. Let's go to our web stuff board. All right, so I believe I have 3 domains here. Let's just fumble around a little bit. Validation code, end date, and yeah, it should be good enough. Submit. Now let's graph this in a table. Query builder, woot woot. Kind of don't care about the host, and one thing I haven't been a fan of the recent betas is they make you do a function by default instead of just giving you a raw filter or a raw query, which can make things rather difficult. So what I want to do, let's drop some of the stuff we don't care about. So we're going to do a drop, columns, ooh, nice, tab complete got better too, I guess. Don't really care about the start and the stop. What else don't we care about? Oops, sorry, I just pulled up the live stream. Percent and wrong spot. Oh, thanks, Shelby. All right, start, stop. Start, stop. Issue we care about. Host is irrelevant in this case. We don't really care about measurement. And now that I'm looking at this, let's focus on stuff we want to keep. So we want to keep so let's keep, sorry, this code's a little, let's drop some stuff off really quick. Submit. There we go. Common name. So let's keep common name. We want to keep the Issuer common name, I think. We'll find out. Dropping it's not that bad. Don't really care about the public key. I don't care about this. I don't care about this signature algorithm. That's a tough one. So signature algorithm matters if you have a very mixed environment and legacy stuff. But if you're a bleeding edge hippie like me, where like my legacy to me means Ubuntu 1804. So yeah. I'm guessing that matters for other people. Chat, let me know what you think. Copy video URL. I'm going to shield the stream out to some of my fellow hippies. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning on the side of that might actually matter. Yeah. Yeah, let's do the signature thing. Oh. Keyring. Gets me every time. So let's go signature algorithm. Algorithm. And then we definitely want the source. So let's just start there. I think those are all valid tags. And that just dropped a lot of the number of series we have. Oh, whoops. Should probably do keep. Because that matters. There's a big difference between keep and drop. Oh, that might... I know what happened there. So what happened there... what happened there was anything that didn't have those columns got dropped. So I guess I need to do a drop now and then change it to a keep later, time permitting. So let's drop out some of the metadata type stuff. Like start, stop. I'm not xenophobic yet, or I'm not really going to care what country you're running it on. The host tag means literally nothing here because it has to do with who checked it, not what it's checking. So, meh. Anything else I need to drop? Nope. Cool. So now let's do some pivots. So now you get to do this cool thing called pivoting. Pivot. So what a pivot does is basically rows that match these keys, put them all in one thing. So anything with any row that has a matching time thing in the field thing. So change the field name to a new column and put the volume of that column up here. So you see that reduces the amount of series we have to the number of domains for the most part. And then let's do a group columns common name. And then let's see what information we can kind of suss out. And then let's do last. Oh, crap. crap. That's right. That is right. Last is really hard to do when you don't have a value column. So we can drop serial number and I think we can drop time now. We don't necessarily care when the measurement was taken. We're just going to assume that it's pretty modern. Yes, these things would matter to boomers. Sorry, I'm just doing a little bit of shilling really quick. Pretty charts. Share the stream out with your friends, by the way. If they care about this kind of stuff, totally get if they don't. All right, so. I need to figure out where I need to do the last thing, but yeah. All right. We do care about issuers, so that one actually does matter. That does matter quite a lot in some cases. We do want the source. Verification. Ooh, invalid. Gasp. Gasp. I actually did want to do an invalid one. So the next thing we need to do, now that we have this mostly sorted out, is we need to... Excuse me. All right. And we're also only gathering this info every 15 minutes, which is why there's not a ton of information being gathered here. So it's saying it's invalid. And I'm pretty sure... Okay, no. So now that we have this data, we need to get this end date into something human readable. So what this is I'm pretty sure this is a Unix epoch. So let's copy this end date. Can we do like properties? Let's just test this out. Guess we can get rid of this. Unix timestamp. All right, perfect. So we need to convert this here number to a date. And the way we do that is somewhere in the bowels of the influx documentation. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, we actually read the documentation. What's there in the influx documentation is good. Is everything there that I want to be like it is in Ansible? No. Not terrible, though. If I was really that mad, I'd do something about it, so. Flux scripting language. Alright, so now we need to look at, I believe it's the date command, right? Date, data, scrape data, Influxdb. Time, manipulate timestamps with flux. Uint to a nanosecond timestamp. Use time function to convert a Unix nanosecond timestamp to so the problem is right now is that this is not a or no, this is a Unix timestamp. So what we need to do is use the uint function to convert this to a nanosecond timestamp, and then I think there's a date function too. So we basically want to get a duration to how everything works. Yeah. So basically we get to manipulate timestamps. So this is a normal Unix timestamp, and we need to convert it into a nanosecond so we can get a duration on it. And then convert that duration back into something human readable. Because does it talk about now? Yeah. RFC current system.time function to get the system time. So now we need to do a durations. Add a duration to a timestamp. Now function. So yeah, now just basically gets now. And now I need to pull up duration. I had this done before, but forgot to tag the dashboard before I exported it. So whoops. Assumes numeric input values are nanosecond strings. Excuse me. So we're definitely going to need to do a map. So let's copy this guy in here. So R with end date. I think there should just be a conversion tool though. I think I'm trying too hard. Because yeah, I just said I was doing a whole bunch of conversion things. So yeah. RFC. Oh yeah, I remember this now. So it uses nanoseconds for everything, and I don't think this was highlighted last time I was here. So I need to multiply that timestamp as as an integer by a whole bunch of time, and then use the uint function. So like if I do uint on the end date function as it stands, so R with end date is uint of end date, or R dot end date. Nope. Oh, what is it? This one's actually kind of bothering me a bit. Submit. The hell? Manipulating time. Sorry about that. Now, whatever. Uint function to convert each timestamp into a Unix nanosecond timestamp. Oh, it's time, not uint. That's why. So that should do what we want it to. Yeah. So as you can see, that's not very useful. However, what we can do is create an integer So what we have to do with end date is it's a Unix timestamp in seconds. So we have to go from seconds to nanoseconds, which is 2 nanoseconds. It's a lot of zeros. So what we're going to do is convert this over to nanoseconds with a map function. So map fn r. So we're going to do a function to r where r with, am I missing something? Oh, there's just a space there. R with end date is going to be r dot end date multiplied by this many. Except I think this has to be cast as an int. The syntax is so weird for Flux, but I'm kind of getting used to it now. Yeah, there we go. So now we have a coherent end date. Hooray. Woot woot. Oh, that's a lie, Shelby. I try way too hard all the time, and you know it. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Oh, no. We have to upload Windows into our Proxmox instance now. It doesn't sound very fun, but you guys get to see all the ISOs I download. Sadly, no Windows XP source code in there yet, because that's highly illegal. Highly illegal. Select file, downloads. Alright, first of all, let's rename this to something coherent. Or not. Let's just upload it. We're going to wait for that giant bloated operating system to download. Alright, so yeah, now we have this beautiful piece of information here that now we actually see when the certificate expired. And that's a good thing. And the things we need to do now is we only need the last piece of data out of every series, and we need to group those series together. But before we do that, we need to grab the last thing with a value, or we need to make the value a duration and then, yeah, do the thing. Windows are for, one of my friends in chat just dropped, Windows are for breaking, Apples are for eating, and Linux is for getting work done. That's pretty funny. Depends on what your work is, but my work, that is definitely the case. Much harder to do the work of deploying operating systems when those operating systems are taking forever to upload over my LAN. Like, I'm pretty sure this might even be breaking the stream a little bit. So, ew. Yeah, so that's the thing. So that should be still uploading. Should be. Hopefully that doesn't cancel it. We'll come back in a sec. That'd be the misclick of the day for me. Alright. Back to this. So, before we do that pivot, we should probably do a last or first. I wonder why the Let's Encrypt stuff is coming through in triplicate. Measurement. And they're all the same. Right? Yeah, that's trippy. The pro gamer move we can do is make the duration of value do the last of that. So now, get rid of this. or change this so we have our width underscore value is r.enddate, and then if we do the last, voila, that should be one series per that, and then we can do a group. And then the tricky thing is we can do a value. I also think there should be a way. I haven't looked through the docs for last very much. I wonder if you could specify a column for last though. No, last takes. Oh, it drops empty tables. Huh. Returns the last non-null record from an input table. Well, crap. I think first is just the same thing backwards, but yeah. Yeah, that kind of sucks that you can't specify that OS you're on. A little terrible. Woo! Andy noticed me. All right. Now let's see if Windows showed up or do I have to upload it again? Awesome. Let's upload this server eval again and wait an hour for it to download. All right. So now we get to see all this awesome stuff, except now we're showing an end date. Anyway. So now that we have this in nanoseconds, I'm pretty sure we can do a duration between when it finishes and when the cert expires in the current time, so that way you have an idea of when you need to actually do something. Because you can kind of do this in your head, but I think it would be pretty cool to be able to have the expiration date and how far away the expiration date is. And then we can go through and drop out some useless stuff like the measurement. Actually, let's drop out the measurement. Get that garbage out of here. Yeet! There we go. More room for stuff. And we can get rid of verification code. Because it's redundant. Verification underscore code. There we go. Now we can actually see some more information. Or we can actually see everything expanded for the most part. Kind of wondering why there's no SAN name there. But that's future me's problem. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to figure out how to get end date to be a duration. Or how to get the nanosecond information from, or to use that nanosecond information to generate a duration. Sorry, durations are something I'm not super familiar with. Duration. So assumes that everything is going to be a nanosecond. String inputs must use duration literal representation. Oh my waifus. I should not have this chat open while I'm streaming. Good God. Too many waifus. Alright. So let's copy the documentation and tweak it to our needs. So we're going to map our with end date to be duration r dot end date. Whew. Whoa. That's not right. That is not right at all. So now we're going to see if we do it before the Unix timestamp conversion. Do we get the right thing? No, we don't. Control X. All right. 271 weeks, 259 weeks. Yeah, that's not the right duration. So let's read about duration some more. Duration assumes the numeric input values are nanoseconds. And do I still have this cast as a string? Oh, that's why. So let's go here, and we need to get rid of nothing? Now I need to get rid of that. Map expire time duration is a type which is not supported by a flux table. And then I think I actually do need to make it a type. Flux does not support duration column types. Okay. So they cast it as a string for that reason. So you can't print out a duration as a string. Good to know. There can only be one waifu. What is this, Highlander? Alright, so. R with expire time, duration. Okay. I'm going to give myself time to think and see. Yay, we have a Windows ISO. So now we're going to go over to our dummy Windows machine. And we're going to go to our hardware. We're going to add a device. We're going to add an ISO from our local pool. And this terribly, terribly long named ISO download. All right. Now we're going to go over to here. We're going to start the VM. It's going to connect. And now we get to take a break from doing fun things and confusing functional queries and load Windows. And change our music. And if you guys have any like non-copyright stuff you want me to play on stream, please let me know. Need to make a playlist for that, and I should be able to do that like this week. Come on, come on. Load, Windows, load. And we can probably kill off this VM. It's served its purpose for now. It's given me Red Hat environment and variables, and that's all it really needed to do. All right, so now we're going to say install now. And this is where Windows is going to say like, yo, dude, I don't see any drives because I'm using the VirtIO drivers. They're more efficient. They're a little bit faster. So Shelby, there's this wonderful and terrible thing called copyright that does not allow me to play a ton of the music that I like on the internet without getting taken down. Mixer was pretty chill about it. YouTube, not so much. Custom install. So we need to load off a driver. Okay. Vert.io. No device. Oh, there it is. Rescan. What? Balloon. Storage. The hell? Browse. Vert.io drivers. Storage. Ah, crap. I downloaded outdated Vert.io drivers. Proxmox. Vert.io. There we go. And we'll upload it. Why not? If I could actually remember to hit save, then by the time we get back over to Proxmox, they should be there. So now we need to go back to Rainer, go to hardware, Vert.io WinDrivers, remove, yes. Do we really have to hot swap? Stop the VM. Then we can add in, go to our storage pool. We're gonna upload a file in 5 seconds once it's done downloading. Yeah. Not playing the tunes is sadly intentional. NCR might have some good stuff, or I can find like really old classical music or something like that, which I wouldn't be against. Maybe other people would be. I don't know. Like I said, voice your opinions in chat, or if you guys know any really good sources. I want to say LibriVox. No, LibriVox is audiobooks. And I think Monster Cat still has a pretty solid library too, so. Storage, local, create. Yay, thanks for the help. Okay. So now we get to start, console. And by the way, things that like this are why I've developed the view that whatever your guests, whatever the most of your guest operating systems are going to be, is what you should be running on the host. So spinning up Windows guests inside of a Hyper-V environment, super easy, and I'm pretty sure you can do like shared kernel virtualization like you can in Proxmox, where the guest and the host share the same kernel and some of the same resources. I forget what Microsoft calls it. And in Linux, you can do the same thing in Proxmox, and the Vert.io drivers, which is their virtual aware devices, work out of the box in damn near every Linux distro. So it's easier to get the guests up if they're the same OS as the host. Change my mind. Need to sit here with my tea and say that. So now we go to next, install now. Come on, Windows. Do your thing. Do your thing. Alright. Eval. You guys watch me read all those terms and conditions, right? So now we're going to do a custom install. We're going to load a driver. Browse. Vert.io. Boo. Vert.io Windows. There we go. VIO Store. Windows 2K19. AMD 64. There we go. Let's load these drivers. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Now we have our 100 gig pool. And now Windows is going to copy files and do its thing for a bit. Web stuff. Expire time is a duration. Oh, there it is. All right. So clearly, I am doing math completely wrong. So I'm doing the duration of r.enddate. So let's think about this and read it. Flux does not support duration column types. Awesome. So duration converts a single value into a duration. Okay, cool. So I need to get I need to do now minus that to get the correct duration. Because it's actually doing exactly what I wanted to. So I want to do like UN of now. Execute, current time is system time. Now returns it is returns now is cached at runtime and all instances of now. System.time returns the host machine. Okay, cool. So we want to do a uint of now. I think that's enough parentheses at the end there. Error. What? Got end of file. The hell? Okay. So maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Map. App. Function. You know what? I'm lazy and kind of want to show off one of the nice things about Flux. If you don't feel like typing all the weird functional syntax, it'll usually do most of it for you if you search the function you want. And, oh. Now inject, and it'll inject it on a line down from your current line. So we want R with expired dir to be r dot end date minus uint of now. And that should give us a Unix timestamp representation of now. Maybe? Time is not subtractable. Okay, cool. Let's insert uint and see what happens. Oh, neat. So I think we can do this. I might also be trying to do too much on one line. I'm willing to accept this. Okay. So let's get a functioning query back. Cool. Okay. So at this point, we have what we want, which is an integer Unix timestamp. So what we need to get now is the current time, time shift system.time returns the current system time. So we need a map where yeah, I think you do need to feed it a value, and that's the problem. So R with cur time is going to be int v of uint v of now. So what this will do, if I'm right, is convert now to a Unix timestamp, and then that Unix timestamp to an int. Except it needs to be uint, not unit. Oh my god, that actually worked. Whew! So now what I can do is give myself another map. Or I can do R with expired dir is the difference between end date minus this expression. End date. Oh. R.end date. Maybe. Yay! And now I think if I do... Oh, what conversion did I do? Oh, cool. So now I just need to wrap that in time. Oh, do I have to do like string on top of that? Okay. So at this point, it makes more sense. Got brace. What? Shit. Okay. So I have to do that over again, which sucks, but we're just going to do it in two separate lines and kind of do a drop at the end to get the columns out that we don't need anymore. Before we do that, let's check in on our Windows install, and that turkey is still baking. Web stuff. So R with expired dir is going to be R dot end date, if I could spell it right. That's the hardest part about programming sometimes. Minus. So I want to end with an integer of the Unix timestamp. Uint. Now I'm going to start misspelling unit, and that's going to be funny. So uint value now. There we go. So now we're going to give ourselves another map. And in this map, what we're going to do in this map right here, what we're going to do now is just do the difference. So R width and just override expirator with R dot end date minus R dot expire underscore dir. And then, so that's the difference in nanoseconds. And now we need to convert that to a duration. Which should look something like that. I forget if you need to put a V. Expired duration type, which is not supported by a flux table. Yay! And then we're going to do a string around all of this garbage. Well, crap. That's no bueno. So we did get a duration. I don't think it's a valid one, though, which might be a problem. Valid data is good data, usually. Or, it's on the way to being good data. So yeah, now we have a duration. So expired is duration of that times that. Crap. Highlight all. How do you make a string? So we're going to do a map where you do string v duration of the number that you want. Let's check in on our Windows install. Still doing its thing. All right. So what do we have going on so far? Let's get rid of this line and see where we're at. Okay, so we have the end date and we have the expire duration is going to be, okay, so wait, R with expire duration, or I guess that would be expire time. Oh, that's why. Current underscore time. There we go. So now we need to find map. So R with expire underscore time is going to be R dot R dot end date minus R dot R dot value? No. Is going to R dot current time. And then expire time. What? So R with expire duration. Is going to be expire duration. R dot end date, which is that number. Wait a minute. I already have the expired because I'm converting the difference between, yeah. End date. I'm already doing that. It's redundant and silly. My bad. I can't code. If you want to take away from this, working on the coding. All right, so end date and the expire duration. So now we need to take the expire duration in nanoseconds and we need to convert it to... We need to do this backwards because right now it's an integer and we need to convert it to whatever now is, which I think is a date. So yeah, expired is right there. R with value. Oh, I know what I need to do. Map function. R with expire duration. R or time of V. R dot. There we go. R dot expired. Expire. Expired. I can't spell expired apparently. R with expired. Time might not be the right function. Because right now, expire time is like some obscene amount of time, which isn't right. I screwed something else somewhere along the line. Okay. Hopefully Windows is done installing so I can mull this one over later. There we go. Thanks for the time save. Thanks for the time save, Microsoft. You're helping me out. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, this I think I might come back to. We're getting at about the episode time, so we'll circle back to this one when I'm not on stream and I could kind of think out loud and bang my head against the desk without feeling shame. So, come back. SSL Mon. And then while we're should be booting. Come on. Hardware. Did I do VirtIO? I'm gonna have to load those drivers too. Because having the internet's kind of important. It's nice anyway. While that's going, HTTP status. Linux HTTP response. Response code. Response type. And we're going to visualize this as a table. We're going to rename this one failed connections. We're going to go to the script editor. And we're going to do a drop. Columns. Under start. Under stop. Under measurement. Oh, you have to say that this is a value. Right? No. What the hell? Drop. The array's right. Oh, I know what I did wrong. That's another nice thing about the point and click functions, and one of the many reasons I prefer this to Kapana is that you actually can like point and click at things and get actually pretty far. It's much easier to stumble through. Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus, Microsoft. Probably don't need time. How about we just do, let's do these columns a keep instead. Columns. And we're going to keep server and underscore time. I I wonder if you get like a reason, or is it just say like, "Yep, nope, this is goofed. This is goofed, sir." Which I think it does, which kind of sucks, but yes, you're getting ready, Windows. You're getting ready. Well, that kind of stinks, but oh well. What can you do? Submit. And then, so it should be last. Oh. This is gonna get kind of trippy. Configure. I'm gonna do a group. I swear it makes sense, but group. Let's just do it. Let's do it formally. This will make sense once you see it. So we're gonna do a group by, and then we're going to do it by server. So that way it doesn't show in distinct tables. It doesn't make sense with one server, but it will for other stuff. I promise. And we just need to keep the server, in my opinion. There we go. And Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Man, this is tricky. Okay. So expire time is end date, and end date is the integer of all this jazz. Perfect. And the expire duration is that many seconds from there. So we need to get end date. Where's value at? Value. Okay, so we don't want that. We want expire time with... See, that's not right, though. Copy... I guess I just need to throw them in kcalc. Do I just have like stupid high IO weight right now? Summary. Oh, wow. Something screwed up's happening on here. I have really high IO weight. Seems like things are going a little cattywampus right now, so I will see you guys later. While I troubleshoot my network having some interesting things happen, so see you guys. It was really nice streaming. Hopefully when I come back, the web dashboard will get figured out, so